Okay. We are live. Send some links real quick. All right. I am working on another Zelda project. Same one from a couple months ago. I haven't streamed in a minute. But I've been working on it. It's still pretty early, but I think it's looking good. I don't know how the audio balancing is going to come out. I don't have that many sound effects, so I might just mute it. But yeah, here's what we got. Let me remove the sword so I could show off the first little cave bit. Can walk in here, talk to the old man. It says this little thing, gives you the sword. That says its little thing. Now I got a sword. Trying to make the sword as accurate to the Game Boy Zeldas as I can. So swipes diagonally in 4 directions. You can hold it, charge it, do a spin attack. Can hit this guy, he does a little flash. And then you can get hit, and then you get a little bit of invulnerability where you can walk through him and not take damage. Or not take knockback, we don't have damage implemented yet. Hold out the sword, walk up to him, gives him a little poke. Right now I'm working on the little sword poke that you get on the walls. So I thought that will be today's project, and then keep working on the Octorok. So for this, I need it to look like how it looks in this game. So if you hold it out and walk against a solid, that little effect will play at the center of the sword sprite. We're gonna implement this as a separate animated sprite effect that will get spawned every time we poke. It was either gonna be that, or I was just going to have the effect always present on the sword, and I would just show and play the animation when we're poking, so we don't have to instance anything. But I realize if we go frame by frame in this, is it going? I can't tell. Oh wait, the poke doesn't actually play on this tile. If we go frame by frame here, the effect actually stays there for a couple more frames after the player is actionable. So I don't want to have to deal with like, oh, have it as a child as of the player, but keep its position if the player walks away. I just want it to spawn and forget. So I already have the effect made. It's just an animated sprite. Where is it? Animated sprite with a signal. Animation finish is connected to itself, and it calls Q free at the end. Pretty basic. What's up, Herrick? How's the new version 4.6? I don't think I'm actually doing... I don't think I've used anything that it's added yet. But I do like the new theme. I've already been using the theme on 4.5, but I think it was worth making it the default. I'm not even really sure what 4.6 added, and if I will be using anything from 4.6. Physics. Oh, the docking is nice. I do like that you can pull out things like animation sprite frames and the animation player especially. It did break my dialogue system, so I had to okay, I'm losing. It broke when I'm displaying characters in the dialogue text, basically as it would oops. While it was doing the typewriter effect, it would start the word on the top line and then push it down to the next line as they were coming out. Judosi, what's up? Yeah, it's been a minute. It hasn't been as long as I tend to have breaks between streaming and content and stuff. But yeah, definitely I intend to stream more often than I do. I just definitely have a lot more progress when I'm not streaming. Oh yes, your driver's license. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I still intend to do that this year too, but I'm glad you're actually making good progress on it. Alright. Let's get to what we're doing. So, I want this poke effect that I got. Oops. Did I have sword truth? There we go. I want this poke effect that I have on the enemies to happen on the walls. And I have a function for detecting if we're pressing against the wall and playing the push animation. But I need it to be more specific to like only work if I'm facing to the right here. Because if I hold up, I'm not pressing right, but it's still doing the poke. So it's still doing the is on wall there for some reason. Oh, so you can do 5 lessons a week. That's awesome. Yeah, I'd probably have to do like 1 or 2 a week. So the way I'm going to implement this, I think, for now, is have a raycast in the center of the player. Or it should be at the center of player's collision. And we're gonna set the target position to the player's not sprite direction, but whatever cardinal direction that the player is facing, we're gonna set it to that. And only when he's moving, and only when it's a cardinal non-diagonal direction, I should say. Wall detection, half the players inside the wall, you can push him back 1 pixel. Yeah, I actually did try that a second ago, but you you could like visually see the player get pushed back a little bit. I'm sure there's some way that I could use the current set of nodes that I have here, but I am gonna end up using this interactor raycast for other things, like if I'm facing a sign, check if that's colliding, and show dialogue if I hit a button. Oh no, I didn't show that. It was right before I streamed. Yeah, I only started like 10 minutes ago. I don't know. But we haven't implemented anything yet. So let's get in this. I'm going to have the interactor. All right, let's get on player script. Probably a new function. If input direction length equals 1. Hold on. Print input direction. Let's start with this. And I'll put this in the physics process. Code editor, this is NeoVim, and I'm using a framework. I'm using Astro NeoVim. And it integrates pretty well with Godot pretty easily using the documentation they had on it on GitHub. Yeah, NeoVim is, you might know Vim, which is an old ass text editor with it's all keyboard controllable. Oh, my voice is quiet. Let me all my settings are maxed out. Here, I'll just increase this. But yeah, NeoVim, you got it right. But it's good. I recommend. If you are already familiar with Vim, otherwise it's a whole can of worms to get into this style of editing text without a mouse. But I like it. We're gonna go to physics process, update interactor direction. Let me check if this is doing what. So if we're diagonal, you see we get this, I guess it's unnormalized directions in both the X and Y coordinates, X and Y positions. I only want it to update if the length of this line is 1, and that'll only happen when we're moving non-diagonally, or if we're moving in a straight line. So if input direction length is equal to 1, raycast, or what we call this, interactor extends, what's it called? Target position is equal to input direction times interactor length, which I don't have yet. That's gonna be 8. So this isn't gonna show us anything unless I turn on visible collision shapes. Why can't I move? My WASD isn't working anymore. Why is that? Does it have to do with this raycast? What did I break just now? Oh, I removed a line. What was it? bad. Put that back. All right. Yeah, we can, it's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, it's really hard to tell. But if I hide our collision shape and the hurt box, can just barely see that raycast is updating only when I'm facing north, south, east, or west without any diagonals. If I walk diagonally backwards, it doesn't update either. I think that's okay. Alright, and then there we see it is colliding. But I'm still playing the push at the wrong time. So let's go to state poke. I have an is on wall here, so we're going to change it to if sword is hit, or let's make a new function. I want this to be private. I want a is poking wall. And if is, okay. Return is on wall and interactor is colliding. Alright. Now what we have? It's doing the poke, but it's still doing the poke up here. No good. Did I actually update that? I did not. Is wall, what was it called? Yeah, right? Yeah. Right? Alright, going up and down, pressing forward, it's working, up and down, it's not. But, still, okay, we don't want to update unless the sprite direction is updating. So we'll just move this into, we'll only do this in state default for now. I might need to put that into more places, but like it's probably best off being in update sprite direction. But update sprite direction is part of my actor class. Yeah. Oh, I don't like how I did this. I just did this a better way 2 seconds ago. Because I could do if length is 1. Right? No, it works. I have, because I needed to convert it to a string. Nah, we'll leave it. We'll leave that as is. We're good. Alright. Alright. Did I fix it? No, because it still collides. So, okay, I wanted to use the interactor for things like signs. So, okay. What I could do is I can make it equal to 0 if we're not currently moving. But then that won't let it work on other things in the future. We'll just one feature at a time. Update interactor direction, else interactor target position equals 0. Does that give me what I need right now? Okay, no, it's 0 right there because I'm only updating it in default. Alright, don't do that. Instead, in poke, if, okay, and hold if we're poking wall on. And interactor is colliding. and velocity. And the player is moving is what that means. No, because velocity can still be up there. Alright. Poke. Does this change anything about what I just tried? It does not. No. Actually makes it worse. If we're poking the wall, which means we are on the wall, and it's colliding. How do we make it? I guess we can. Oops. We can reset the interaction direction after a poke. So on poke state entered, reset that. Oops. All right. Yes, that works for the first poke. But I want it to keep happening. So when do we update interactor direction? That only happens in default. We can also update it on the first frame of entered. Of hold entered, I mean. Okay, that only works. Okay, see there, I messed it up because it's facing up right now. Okay, can't update it on state hold entered. Maybe we could do it. I don't want to check it against the sprite direction. I'd rather use the raycast than check it against the sprite direction and then what am I doing here? Oops. Close the whole thing. In actor, oh no, it is in player. I thought this is pushing wall would work because it's if we're walking up against the wall and we have a collision exactly where the sprite is facing. I feel like is pushing wall. Should be doing something. Are we back? I accidentally hit the lock. I accidentally locked my computer there. Hopefully that didn't cut out completely. Whatever. Looks like we're back. Alright. Alright. If is pushing wall. Let's try again. Oh, that did it. Oh, I think that did it. I think that's good. No, yeah, that's good. All right. However, poking the wall does not reset my spin attack charge timer. Something about going into code editor is NeoVim or NVim with the Astro NVim framework or distribution or whatever. OS, I'm using Arch Linux with the Neri what do you call it? Window manager and Noctalia shell. All three of those are kind of like, or everything I just said takes like a lot of customization to get it looking this way. But if you like fiddling with your computer, it's something. When do I... How does my charge work? Okay, I need to add a sword reset somewhere. Maybe in sword poke. My sword script is pretty simple and it has just a bunch of little helper functions to set, like, play sound effects and reset animations and stuff here. I guess in sword poke, we want to set charge to false. Yeah, that did it. Cool. Huh. Alright, that's pretty much how I wanted it to work. We just need to add the little visual effect that happens after. But sweet. That's good. So for now, I'm gonna have the effect happen every time we poke something, but I'm gonna want it to only happen on solid walls and not enemies afterwards. But let's just get it working on the poke. I guess I could do it right here. Spawn poke effect. I was gonna put it in player, but it can go in sword. What do you mean? I'm not a node. I'm a sword that extends hitbox. Oh. Duh. Alright. Let's see what this does. Bink, 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 nothing. Bink, 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 nothing. Did I call this anywhere? No. So on poke, spawn poke effect. Bink, 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 nothing. Where are you? Z index? Ordering. Z index. Let's do 10. Bink, bink, bink. Nothing. It's gotta be because sword position's like 0. Oh, I don't want to add it as a sibling. I want it to be added to the actual game world, which I don't have a way of getting from the player yet. So I gotta, or I can add it to, no, I can't. The sword doesn't care who's calling all these functions. So, you know what? This stuff, let's do this. We're not going to play you here. We're going to play you in the player, and we're going to pass the player's position. And then calling this in the player will end up helping us because we want to detect what the player is actually poking, which the sword doesn't do. The sword just calls some animation functions. So let's do this here. It's probably going to play directly on the player if it plays at all. Dink, dink, dink. No. There's nothing. Are these things even getting added to the world at all? What are these? It's adding a bunch of them, and it's adding them to the player. Because I'm still adding it to the wrong thing. I don't want to use get parent here, but let's see if this does anything for me. Bink, 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 bink. Nope, still not appearing. They are getting put into the proper place in the scene tree. But where are... Oh, you know what? This stuff probably doesn't even... It's not auto-playing, if I had to guess. Animation, default... Autoplay unload. Okay, let's see. Okay. So it's appearing just at the wrong spot. All right. Let me see. Will this... Can I do this? Oh. Sword position is still 0. Alright. Okay. Hold on, this is gonna look ugly, but interactor target position. Nope. Oh, it's because I do that before I reset it. No, that didn't fix it. Oh wait, did it fix it? I think it did fix it. Let's do position plus interactor target position times 2. Assignment is not... Oh. Typo. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Getting there. It's still going to be happening on the Octorok though, which I don't want. So how are we going to make it play at the right position? Instead of using the interactor target position, maybe I will have an extra helper node. We're going to have a poke position node, and we're going to place it where we want it per animation. Right. Wait a second. And if it's... This can probably just go in here then. Right. Spawn poke effect. We don't have to ask for a position anymore because it's just going to go into poke position, global position. So now, what parser? What do you want? I don't actually know how to jump to error in NeoVim right now, sorry. It's you. Okay, it's still doing something, but I need it to... I need to put these all in the right position now. All right, first 4.6 Godot feature we're going to make use of. Make floating. Now we got our animations on this side. It's kind of nice, I think. And we can go to, you know what? Can't read anything like that, so I need it here. I'm going to go to player, animation player. We're going to go to each of these poke animations. Let's reset some of this stuff. Shader parameters, hurt is off. I guess on the first frame we'll just place it where we want it. $20 pixels out maybe? Let's okay. Here's the thing. If I went to the source material and I did this, you might be able to see it's like 1 pixel off to the left. Do you see that? The center of the actual poke animation that's happening at the bottom. You could see more of the left side of it than the right. I've been going for like super accurate pixel placements on all these animations, but that bothers me. We're gonna have it in the center of the sword here. So transform, boop, put this here. Let's see if this worked. Bing, 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 bing. Okay, I don't want it to be above the sword. Let's remove the Z index that I said earlier. Bing, 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 bing. It's still there. Let's make it 1 under. And now it's under everything. No good. All right, we're gonna set this to 1 and the player sword. No, because I want the sword to draw under the player all the time. So I guess the player needs some slightly higher Z index. The sword will have Z index is 0. And the poke will have Z index 1. No, it has to be under. Sword will have Z index 1. Alright, I don't know. That's what I wanted, right? I think that's what I wanted. Alright. That looks good to me. So now we need to add it to the other animations. Player, animation player, go to poke left. Move this guy right here. Or one back. I like it. I like the idea of it all being 20 pixels away. Poke right. 20 pixels. This way. No, but that's not the center. Hold on. I guess it's gotta be 21. Go back to left. Oh, that's down. Go back to left. Is that center? This is more center. Yeah, 21. Then go to up. Move it here. Am I doing 20 or am I doing 21? Go to poke down. Oh yeah, okay, I changed my mind. 21. Cool. Does all work? Bink, bink, bink. Okay, it didn't update properly that time. It doesn't update properly the first time. I must be starting the animation before I spawn the effect. Can I put this after without it breaking anything? Dink, dink. Nope, that didn't actually change it. Dink, dink. I need it to happen after. All right. I don't love using method tracks in my animations because I forget where functions are getting called from pretty frequently when I do this, but we're gonna do it. So insert key. We're gonna spawn poke effect on the second frame of each of these, okay? And I'm just gonna copy this track, copy the method track, and put it do I have to do it like this? Yeah. Paste, paste, and paste. Okay. Let's see what this does for us. Dink, dink, dink. Dink. Yeah, all right. That works for me. Does that work for you? It works for me. All right. I don't want it to happen on on actor hits. I only want it to happen on wall hits. If hit, return. Works, works, works. Wow, that was easy. Alright. Boom. I don't really know what else the sword still needs. If you ask me, this is pretty comprehensive in terms of feeling like the Game Boy versions. Sound effects for sure. As far as feel goes, feels good. I like it. Okay. Now we can push these changes. All of this. Discard. Add. 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 Poke. VFX. Add poke wall VFX. Sure. Push. In there. Let's look at my this. This is closed now. Closed by, I forgot to add this in the comment log. Can I copy this? Sorry, gang, I'm not the fastest with this type of thing. Boom. Cool. All right. Feature is complete. I suppose the next thing I want to add is either killing the enemies or letting the Octorok shoot projectiles. I think I want to add killing. So let's do a little research. What should this look like? All right, there's a couple things I notice here. Actually, there's a better place to look at this. I need to see something that has more than 1 HP. Okay. So, when you hit an enemy and they don't collide with a wall during hit stun, they get sent back a little bit. These guys seem to pause no matter what after you hit them. So I think it resets their state after they get hit. But most importantly, if you hit an enemy when he has 1 HP left, and this is going to be relevant for Octoroks that only have 1 HP, instead of moving out for like the second or so that they're in the hit stun state and then blowing up like that guy just did, they actually just blow up as soon as they hit the wall. I don't know how easy that is to tell here, but like I just tapped him and he explodes there. Whereas this guy, I'm gonna tap him and then he's gonna fly out and then explode because he's not colliding with the wall. Or, you know, either times out after a certain distance / time in the hit stun state, or it just blows up when it's colliding with something. So that's what we're gonna add. Okay. We also need a death animation, so let's start with that. Is it this? I don't know. Hold on, what does it even look like? I don't know if the sprite sheet gave me a death animation. It must be this. I'm already using these two for the poke, but I'll make a second sheet with some repeated sprites. It's okay. 'Cause I don't know what... I don't intend to use this sprite sheet for the whole project. I'm just using it as placeholders. Alright, we're gonna call this enemy death. Or just death. Death.png. Okay. So I'm gonna make this pretty much identically as I made the poke effect. Okay. We're gonna do some reorganizing real quick. We're not going to use this poke PNG for the poke, actually. We are going to share the sprite sheet for now. No, we're not. No, we're not. I changed my mind again. But we are going to move everything outside of these folders. And that means I got to fix wherever I call poke from, which was here. Just delete... that. Let's see if shit still runs. Stuff still runs. Alright. This is how you make a one-time anime sprite-based animation. So, add a new scene. It's going to be a node and a sprite. 2D. We're going to call this death. Okay. Needs a sprite frames resource. Gives it us down there. It's going to be from a sprite sheet, the death sprite sheet. Each frame is 16 by 16, so we set that there, and then we select all of the frames that we are using. So that's what I was debating a second ago, is like, oh, if we're just using the last 2 frames in the poke, I could just call the same sprite sheet in their sprite frames and only use the last 2 frames. But like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be replacing these sprites and what I'm going to be replacing sprites with. Like, are they going to share the same thing from the explosion? Who knows? But it is like not even optimization. It's literally just, what do I feel like using? Anyway. I think I want it to be, oh, yeah, that's too slow. So no loop. I want an empty frame. I don't know if the empty frame's necessary. But we're gonna use it. Gonna set this to 7.5 is what I think I set that to, yeah. I think that gives us 8 frames on each, or 8 game frames per sprite frame. Does that make sense? It's not. That's too slow. All right, I gotta see what it looks like in the game. So pause. Doing frame advance, and I'm gonna count frames one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 30 frames. And they play, they were showing at different lengths. I don't know if that's just emulator timing stuff, or if they really mean for it to have different frames, but I can set the frame durations if needed. All right, so they were playing at, it was 30 frames. It's got to play 30 frames per second. Does this FPS mean it would play 30 of these separate frames per second? I don't know what I'm doing here, because that's definitely too fast. Maybe 10's a good start. I can do timings on this kind of thing later. So we'll autoplay on load. We won't loop, and then we're also gonna, you know, the queue free didn't run here, did it? Also, I got 2 freaking poke positions. What am I doing? But yeah, queue free, does it not run if it doesn't have a script? Oh no, it's working. It's working as intended, so we're good. So we got the animated sprite. It's got a sprite frames with 1 animation that autoplays on load and does not loop. Okay, that's where we're at so far. We connect animation finished to the death animation. And on animation finished, we queue free. So we remove it from the tree. Okay, so no scripts required, just connecting signals that always exist on these nodes no matter what. And all we got to do is spawn this at the right position. Things should die. Hold on, I'm gonna microwave my coffee. 1 second. So the next step is we need to add some actor death logic. We don't even have health. Grab my coffee. So set default actor health to 1. Right now I want it to occur. So this stuff is going to happen in state hurt. We want this to happen during hit stun, which is what state hurt is. If health is less than or equal to 0, start with that. Oh wait, we don't actually reduce health anywhere. Hurt. How do I find uses of a function using this? It would be that's one. Where else do we call a hurt? Oh, we only call hurt in the hurt box? Wonderful. Alright. Let this be a float. Let health be a float too. Okay, that's all valid. Will this kill my player? Yes. So let's set player health to be a lot more by default. You're gonna get 100 health. Player shouldn't reasonably be able to die anytime soon, but if I hit the Octorok, it should just disappear. Yes, cool. So we don't want it to queue free right away. We want it to queue free at the end. All right. So let's get the animation in there because it's done. We just got to spawn it. Function die. Let's get a path to that effect that we just made. It's gonna be death effects. How did I name the poke effects? Death VFX equals preload death.tscn. Okay. So when we die, we're going to What did I name it here? Poke effects. No underscore. I don't like that I'm using multiple naming conventions for these, but I can fix it later. Death effects equals. Thank you. Death effects equals death VFX instantiate. Death effects dot position equals our actor's position. And we'll add sibling death effects and we'll die. Okay, I didn't actually call that anywhere. So if health is less than 0, die. Boom. There it is. Again, boom. There it is. So we don't want that to happen immediately. We want it to happen at the end of the states. Perfect. But as we looked in the game earlier, the source material, we don't want it to... Hold on, let me get this guy closer to a wall. He's not gonna do this without a little bit of help. So let's go overworld, move this guy a little closer to the wall. Boop, 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 boop. And it's gonna be hard to tell, but you could see that he still flashes when he's against the wall and I hit him, and then the animation plays. Some things... I just broke my camera. Oh, did I move the overworld? Yeah, I did. Let's lock this. Okay. So, all we gotta do there is check if we're on the wall before the state timer times out. And if so, we die. All that's gonna take is if is on wall, die. Oh, wait. And there we go. So I just hit, he's pressed against the wall, I just hit him and he dies. Boom. Okay, that time it actually looked like it didn't work. But I think it's working. And the way we can tell for sure if it's working is if we exaggerate the hell out of our knockback speed. Knockback speed. Instead of 120, we'll do 500. All right, I can't actually tell. Basically, he should just explode as soon as he hits the wall. But no, it looks like he's still running a little bit more of the hurt animation. Okay, we can exaggerate the hit stun time. Let's make this a full second. Yeah, see, it's running the whole thing before it goes. And we don't want it. We don't want that. If is on wall and health is less than or equal to 0, die. Are we ever making it here? It's not making it there. So is on wall not getting called? It's not, because we're not using move and slide for this. We're using move and collide Does move and collide give me anything I can use? It gives me a kinematic collision, which contains... Alright, what can I do with that? Var collision equals move and collide. Let's see what this collision is. Looks clean, thank you. So it's getting something. I've never used kinematic collision though. So what is that? Script, search help, kinematic collision 2D. Well, if it's, we don't have to look at what's actually in there. We just have to see that it exists. So let's replace is on wall with collision. And that's what I wanted it to be. Okay, cool. Let's change these back to what they were. What were they? It was 120 and 0.26666. I think that's that. Can we get this guy to walk close to a wall so we can see it really in action? Come on, man. You got this. Just walk up or down. Okay. Yeah, that's working. Cool. We got enemy deaths. Kind of simplifies my Octorok quite a bit because we can't see him get hurt multiple times. But if we set his health to 4, let me slap him around a bit. Boom, boom, dead. Boom, 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 dead. Cool. I could call that feature complete. Death. It's the player death will need a lot of custom stuff. But I could worry about that when I'm worried about that. So let's commit this stuff. Yeah, done. We'll put the poke stuff in this commit too. I don't care. Actor, hurtbox, UI skip. Yeah, all of these. Everything but UI, I think. Yeah, discard overall change. Okay. Add enemy death and move poke scene. Just add enemy death. Whatever. I'm not even gonna mention it. Not even gonna mention it. It's one commit away from the when it was introduced. So this is issue 20. Okay, done. Push. Should be able to go to my projects, refresh. Health and death was closed. Move it to done. Done. Wonderful. So now I need the Octorok's projectile. Do I have a sprite for this? Octoroks are up here. No rock over there. Probably this. Nah, but the ones in I think these are for like breaking rocks. Yeah, I think this is what appears when you throw a rock at a wall or something and it falls on the ground. Do they give me a rock projectile for the Octorok? Because Maybe I will have to use that. Like, these can be used for the Zoras that come out of the water. I can use this. Okay, let's look at the source. Yeah, the original, yeah, it's huge, right? And how does it decide? Okay, so if it hits a wall going south, it bounces back up and then falls a few frames and then deletes. If it hits one going to the left or right, what does it do? Like the one next to the skull above the explosion. This one? Really? I gotta keep seeing this, guys. It's definitely just a very unique projectile with a palette swap. Okay. All of this art's getting replaced at some point, so it really doesn't matter what I use. I think this. So this is 10 by 10. I think this makes the most sense for right now. I'm gonna go with this. It looks like a smaller version of the pushable block. Hold on, guys, I gotta see it again. Pushable block with a palette swap. Hold on, I'm not following it all yet. Come on, someone shoot something. Shoot something. Okay. Oops. All right. I don't even know what that looks like to me. Smaller version of the pushable block is what you use for your remake. Hold on. I also, okay, I think what I really, really like is this rock. But this one's the right size. Maybe I really don't. I'm not here to make my own art. But let's just do some kind of. Let's just do something. Because I'm not going to find something perfect. Y'all, I don't know. I'm a programmer. Where'd I get the art from? It's sodacoma.itch.io. There's the link. Couple bucks. Anyway, this is fine. I can't spend too much time on this. I can, but I don't feel like it. So actors, attacks, and we're gonna call this rock.png. Or rock. Octo. I can't call it Octorock because that's what it's called. Well, they're called. Just call it rock. It's fine. So rock.png. Share reload. New scene. This is going to be a hitbox, which is a custom class that has a damage value already, so that's all good. It's gonna need a sprite 2D. Rock. Actors, attacks, rock. I kind of like how that looks. Am I an artist? Anyway. Attacks. I'll name this rock. This is gonna piss me off once I have like rock tiles in the game, but it is what it is. No shape. I'm gonna give it a circle shape. Make it 5. Maybe a little smaller. Give the player a little leeway. Okay. So this uses the hitbox. I want it to... Let's make a new projectile class. Rename it now. Do yourself a favor. If I could sit here all day doing this. All right. Octorock. Rock. Octorock rock. Octorock rock. Octorock rock. Dashes? Question mark. Underscores? Am I using dashes or underscores? I'm using underscores. You're right. Just name it. Just name it what it is. You're right. So Octorock rock extends hitbox. Instead, you're going to extend. We'll call it. We'll just make it Octorock rock for now. We'll make a projectile class in a bit. Okay. So create that. This is all good. Extends hitbox. Octorock, what's up, Desire? How are you? How fast do these rocks move? Shoot a rock, someone. Shoot an Octorock. Shoot an Octorock away from a wall, please. Okay. It's moving like 3 pixels every 2 frames. So I think that's a speed of 90 in my case. I think we're gonna start with 90 for now. Yeah, long time no see. I'm glad you're here. Alright, physics process. Position plus equals. Direction times speed times delta. What do you mean? Oh, I gotta turn on. Okay, I have the hint on that makes it so it warns you if you're not using static typing because I'm trying to keep everything consistent. In case anyone's wondering why I'm getting squigglies all the time, because I'm not used to static typing. Like, I am, but it's not like I'm so used to just being able to spit out GD script and have it work. All right, we're gonna call. Okay, we gotta make this rock from the Octorock. Octorock rock. Yes. So we'll say at the end of state waits. We'll call it for now. That's probably not where it's gonna be. We're gonna add another timer, or another time that the timer will use. But for now, how's that? Nintendo not find the sprite set, right? Honestly, I think the Nintendo is gonna go after your project stuff is overblown. Like, have y'all seen I guess this game's got its own unique art style. That's a bad example. Never mind. Alright. Nintendo, if you're watching, this is for educational purposes only. And the sprite set is being sold on itch and has been for a few years. There's so many. Yeah, this art style is it's definitely its own thing. Game Boy Color Zelda is such a popular art style these days. All right, will he shoot rocks? Yes, but he killed himself. All right. How can I? Do I have to add teams now? Like the player team and enemy teams, and enemies can't harm other enemies, but they can harm the player. For now, let's just set this damage to 0. Still hurting himself, but I just gotta... No, that rock sprite sucks. Why does it look rotated? Who made that? Ugh. Could you make Octorocks invincible to the rocks? Yeah, but not automatically. Like things like Raycast, I'm pretty sure I can Here, I could do this. I could do this simply. I'm just gonna do it with groups. I don't like adding groups from the inspector. I'm gonna add it here. Later I might add teams, but this is probably enough. Add to group enemy. No, teams are good. Teams are good. We like teams. We like teams. We're gonna go to, because all this can just take place in Hurtbox and Hitbox. So, on ready var team. Can I? Let me. I need both. Alright, I don't want these both to be in defined twice. So this might end up in some kind of helper script elsewhere, or like some kind of singleton, or am I gonna have more than 2 teams? Because I can make this. We don't like teams. We're making this stupid. And not on ready export. All right. All right. Octorok Rock is enemy, yes. The player stuff we gotta set to not. So Hurtbox is enemy, no. Sword is enemy, no. What is this IDE? I'm using, this is just the Godot engine editor, and on the left I'm using NeoVim. Astro NeoVim specifically. And, okay, if, hold on. If hitbot is enemy is equal to R is enemy, then return. You still dying, man? Nah, you're good. Okay. Let's make the rock face the same direction as the Octorok. Yes, oh, I guess not. All right, we are gonna make a. We are going to make a new class. It's not gonna be here, but I'm not gonna change it until I need to. All right. Oops. I opened another window. Okay. Where was I? Direction equals move direction. This is a projectile. We'll find it. Oops, I closed the whole thing again. Octorok GD, you're working now. Okay. Looks good. Does this damage me? Yeah. What? Stay, wait, exit. I can't change the state while flushing queries. Octorok 49. Oh, we can't add a sibling. Mr. Squarepad, what's up? Welcome. Nice to see you. Did I get that error because I killed it at the same time that the state ended? Oh no, state wait exited always happens if I put him into hurt. Oh, but that means I can force the rock just by hitting him every time. Oh no, it doesn't. We're fine. We're fine. Make a course. I would like to. I used to make Zelda tutorials, but I don't think I should make a course on how to make a Zelda game until I make a Zelda game all the way, start to finish. So that's the current plan. So let's have this, the Octorok rock delete itself on impact. Since we're using hitbox, we can probably, oh no, hitbox is kind of a dummy. The hurt box is what detects them. But I do need the Octorok rock to detect if it's hitting a solid wall, if it's hitting something that isn't an actor. So I do need to add some stuff here. So we'll do, tile maps are bodies, right? So we'll do body entered, connect, on body entered. No? You promise? I thought tile maps were physics bodies. Oops. Alright. So that ain't doing anything. IDE, Astro, Neovim. Cannot convert argument 1. Error calling. What do you mean? Maybe physics body is not what I think it is. What does tile map extend from? Oh, and it's not tile map, it's tile map layer. Silly. But what does tile map layer extend from? Just node 2D. Damn. So what is its collision? Are they? I think they're static body 2Ds in the tile map. What is static body inherit from? It is physics body 2D, so that is what I want to be using. I want this to, no, we'll just do static. Because we don't care about character bodies yet because they kind of handle their own thing. But it's definitely, cannot convert argument 1 from object to object. I just want you to print the body. Argument 1 on body entered body, and it's got to be a static body. Right? Hold on. Signals. Let's look at an area. We got body entered. Oh, it could be any old node 2D, including a tile map. Body can be a physics body 2D or a tile map. That's where it's getting confused. Okay. Noted. Yeah, Astro and Boom. Alright. Okay. It's working. It just needed to be a node 2D. Don't give it a type in the method declaration. I'm static typing, so I have to give it a type. Otherwise, it's going to warn me. And node 2D works here. Q free. All right, that works. I didn't realize that physics body 2Ds and tile maps are like nearly identical. Yeah, sure, but it would have helped to find out what it should be, I think. Oh yeah, I could have checked what the type was in there and figured it out, but I also found it out from the documentation on this signal, fortunately. So we're good. Yeah. I know there's a delay between the stream and chat too. So on body entered, is this deleting on? All right. We're gonna give this, all right. I don't want this to be Octorok Rock, it's gonna be projectile, and projectile is gonna have something called can pierce, which is gonna be false on this one. And this is gonna get checked on. Oh wait, no, we don't need this. We can kind of just do a we'll just do this. It's fine. In fact, we'll just count those as a hit. Alright, so they're still deleting on the walls, but if it hits the player, it also deletes. Okay. That's a start. I'm gonna save our progress here, but we're not done. Yeah. Let's yeah, okay. Add basic Octorok rock. Okay. I just turned off the thing that gives me the sword at the beginning, so I gotta grab it. Now, shouldn't collide. Yeah, it doesn't collide with the sword, so we're good. It looks so. The sprite's kind of looking weird sometimes. I think it just has to do with my screen resolution, but it's. Oh, even the Octorok, you can see his sprite's kind of getting messed up. I don't know how obvious that is. Something's going on with the camera and the sprite size and the screen resolution. It's not. I don't gotta get into it right now. We want the Octorok rock to bounce off the wall and do something. Okay. So if it's hitting to the left, this is probably the collision. It goes up. So what do y'all think? Should I like do some fake gravity and like actually change the position of it, or should I go frame by frame and add an animation and do like bounce left and then I'll physically put them? I'm leaning towards gravity right now. Fake gravity? Okay. That's all I need to hear, Mr. Square Peg. I don't even know what units we're supposed to be using here. I guess I could still use the active state. I just need to change the monitor build to false. Yeah, probably don't need a state machine here. I just need to set the position to or I'll set the direction to the opposite of whatever direction it just was and add gravity every frame. Okay, we're gonna keep it as 2 states for right now, but I think it's gonna look pretty similar. We might need a different speed variable. Is this right? Do I multiply this by delta as well, or do I make the gravity smaller? I don't know. On hits, state equals state hit. Let's see. I mean, yeah. I might want to cap the speed. Value, minimum, maximum. Oh, just clamp. And then definitely not 40. Start with 1. That's going up so high. 5? This max speed is not doing anything. Oh, because I do this before the delta. I think. Hold on. I think I'm really messing up my order of operations here. But let me keep testing things. Gravity is probably just ridiculously high. There's something really satisfying about this, even though it's so wrong. See, do you see how messed up that sprite looked there? I don't know if that's capturing on video. Hmm. I got double bounced there. Alright. Alright, so it's reversing. I need it to go way less. Once I have the less than 1 speeds, I start thinking there's something I'm not multiplying by delta properly. once I have something working decently like this, I start to not care. All right, so left and right looks decent. Up and down does not. Oh, it's because maybe I just need the same thing. I hope these can be the same number. No, I don't think so. 0.5? Nah, maybe 1 was good. Alright, let's do 0.8. Looks really bad there. Because it keeps running body entered. Okay, that was why. Hold on, I gotta see up again. Otherwise, it's looking good to me. No, it's going way too up. But maybe it times out sooner than I think. So let's add a timeout. So up looks bad. Left and right looks decent to me. I think it should be even shorter though. Down doesn't look that good either. Alright, and that's too short. It looks like it's just going down instead of falling to the ground after bouncing. Shouldn't it stop after a second or so? Oh, okay. I was like, what do you mean? I thought it's starting to look good to me. That's too long. 0.3? How fast does this go on the source again? Alright. I'm gonna keep playing with the numbers here, but I feel like this is something I'm never gonna get completely accurate. So I either gotta be okay with it being slightly different than the game, or I have to do the frame-by-frame animations. But I gotta look frame-by-frame at the other game and see if it's always consistently the same set of pixels that it moves every time. If it is consistent, I am willing to go make animations for each of these, but that'll have to happen off stream. Like I'm not gonna do that on video. So going up, it looks bad. down could use more. You might have to reset its velocity or something before the actual bounce might fix the up and down. Oh, you're right. I'm doing negative equals. I gotta do equals negative. Yeah, and then this can be a higher number. Alright, that's way too high. And then we'll set the gravity a bit higher, or a lot higher. Let's see first. Okay, that's starting to look pretty good for up and down to me. Or it's starting to look good. I'll make the gravity a little bit lower than that. Come on, left. Left or right. Not bad. We'll do 7.5. Maybe make the expiration. No, expiration is good. Boop. I like that. All right, everybody watching, what would you change, if anything, or can I move on? You did save the day, thank you, Midrule. I like that name too. Looks good? All right. Then we are committing. What would you call this? Bounce effect. Okay, push. Okay, so where are we even? Octoarc projectile, I'm gonna say is done, right? Closed by whatever I just did. I don't need the number sign. Can I edit these? What does it look like when I edit it? Yeah, perfect. Never seen your channel before, but this looks cool. In the middle of making spirit. Oh, I saw your project. That's open source, right? I was wondering if I should try to dive into that code base and see if I could do anything to help there, because that it looks like a really cool project. But I ultimately was like, not ultimately, but I'm currently like, no, I gotta work on my own my own Zelda remake right now. But I did see that. That's really cool. Oh, it's not open source. Are there more than one people working on Spirit Tracks in Godot right now? Anyway, I gotta check out yours in that case. But I could have sworn there was like a call for contributors on Reddit for a Spirit Tracks remake. Anyway. Yeah, mine's not open source either here. It was yours. Okay, it's just not open source. Understood now then. All right, I think I'm done for today. So today what we have added is sword poking, which feels, to me, I feel like the sword is complete. Like, we got the spin attacks. You can go from a spin straight into another hold. You can change the... Wait, I broke something. I used to be able to change the direction of the spin. Like, if I'm facing the left right now, but if I were to be going right, it would do the right spin attack. But I broke something. Hold on, before I get off. Let's see if I can fix this really quickly. It's gotta be hold... Where did I add another sprite direction change? All I added was... man. It had to have been poke wall. No. Maybe I did this way earlier. I probably have to dig through some old commits, but I broke my sword. Anyway, alright, let's pretend I didn't say that. So we can go in here. We can get the sword. You got the sword. I can leave. I can spin attack. I'm going to ignore that I can't switch directions before the spin itself. I can poke. Do I want that poke effect to be green? Nah, it looks fine. I can poke. I can poke the enemy too, and the enemy can die. And also rocks. The rocks aren't supposed to happen on actors, right? Let's try to get shot. Shoot me. Oh, it does happen on actors. Okay, so that's done. Perfect. I don't know what happens when you're hit with a rock and hit stun. And oh, so it bounces off regardless. I don't know what mine does. I need you to shoot a rock at me while I'm invulnerable. Let's set invulnerability time much higher. That's in player. Hit invulnerability time. We'll do something ridiculous. Okay, so it just passes right through me there. It's because I set the hit effect, or It might actually make sense to check for all bodies here, including the player, instead of allowing the on hit to happen to be called by the hurt box. Hold on. What I just said probably means nothing to anyone listening. But instead of on body enter, okay. No, it's gonna need... On hit doesn't get called when the player's invulnerable at all. This doesn't matter. I said I was gonna get off the stream, so I'm gonna call it. So, as a final what we did today, we can walk in here. What I added was the sword poke on walls, as well as the little effect that happens, and then if I sword poke the Octorok, you'll die. So yeah, that's the stream. Thanks for coming, everybody. Yeah.